The next time you sit down to a meal, I want you to ask yourself, who's coming to the table? And I don't mean their friends or family or the coworkers around you. I mean within yourself. Today we're going to go into a little more of the psychology of eating and find out why who you're bringing inside you to the table can make all the difference. I'm Megan, eating psychology coach and dietitian, and we talk about here how to find a good relationship with food and your body. Now you might be thinking, what do you mean who's coming to the table? I'm just me, I don't have multiple personalities. What are you talking about? So fair enough, but there's some theories in psychology that say that we have all these kind of parts of ourselves in ourselves. So this comes from our childhood, our experiences, and we kind of have, let's say, the inner child within us. We have maybe the mother, we have the worker, we have the friend. All of these kind of hats we have to wear are actually kind of different parts of ourselves. Now, thinking about your own experience, when you're eating and you're kind of not very happy about what your choices are or how you're eating, then think about who in you could be at that table at that moment, who's in charge. So as an example, if you're feeling like you're rebelling against your diet or what healthy eating should look like, that could be your inner rebel coming to the table, and she's in charge. And where does that rebel come from? It could come from a whole bunch of sources. It often comes from some unresolved part of the past that we rebelled against and we haven't quite yet processed. So it comes out in other ways because food is something we do every day. It's something we are mostly in control of. So it makes sense that we would kind of rebel in that way if we're not able to fully understand or process what we actually are trying to rebel against. Or maybe you feel like you just always go for the pleasurable foods and you just want to have fun and not worry about the future. And maybe that's your inner child who's coming to the table. And now the inner child can be great and playful and childlike, that's a positive thing. But then you have the other term, childish, where it's more like, nope, I'm going to do what I want and I don't care. And I'm just going to go for everything that feels good because that's what kids like to do. If it was up to them, they would have ice cream or candy every meal. At least mine would. So this could be something to look at as far as what is that inner child missing? Maybe it means you need to add more fun or pleasure into your life. Maybe you sit down to eat and you're always criticizing yourself and what you're doing and eating, and it's never good enough, or you shouldn't be eating this and you shouldn't be eating that. And maybe that's your inner critic coming to the table. And that could come from a whole bunch of things, like your family was maybe too critical of you. Other people in your life were just, no, it's never good enough. And then that's who's kind of coming out to the table if that's something you haven't recognized or dealt with. When it comes to food and body, these are not things that are usually talked about, right? We tend to focus on the what of what we're eating, how you're eating, and all that's important, of course. But we're the ones in charge of our eating, and we come to the table with so much history, so much background, that of course that's going to come with us. So it really can help to dive into some of these things and see who is it that's actually coming to the table and who would I like to be in charge here. And that's probably going to be your higher self that's responsible, but not overly critical, kind of like the good mother. That might be who you want to come to the table. And so in a way, you have to learn to mother yourself and all the different parts of yourself. So I hope this was interesting, and please let me know in the comments, who do you think comes to the table most as you're eating? And if you want to receive a little more information from me every month, then take the free quiz that's linked below and find out where you're at on your nourishment stage. And I'll see you next time.